1, 2, ready, go. What's the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say. Hello and good morning and welcome to the Bitter Third podcast, the podcast about all things bitter and all things the number 3. Not really. I said that last week. We're still figuring the number 3 part out. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Matthew. I'm Matt. You can call me Matt. I'm joined by the two homies, Taryn and, give me a drum roll, everybody. Probably can't hear it through the microphones. Max. Max is back, everybody. He's here. He's here for the whole podcast.
Hello there.
How have you been, Max? Regale us in all of your stories.
Yes, you're going to have to catch us up.
Oh, boy. Okay, so brief update. Birth went fine. Quicker than expected, thankfully. But he had some stomach issues, so for 2.5 months, we had to go on my wife and I had to go on a 24/7 rotation of holding the littlest one, so...
Oh, boy.
Averaging 5 hours of sleep a day. You know, it was good. No, it wasn't good. It was horrible. But survived it. We're good. He's sleeping. Basically slept the night last night. So we're chilling. We're chilling.
Yeah.
Max, you have been a deterrent for like me falling in love with somebody and having a child with them again, I think.
Listen, this doesn't happen to everyone's kid. I keep hearing stories of great like babies, and I'm just like, I mean, our baby's great too. Like he's fine now.
Did you not learn your lesson the first time?
Yeah, sorry.
Did you not learn your lesson the first time?
No, I did not. Clearly.
It's you kind of get tricked, I think, with having a kid. Like you think, oh, you know, because it is kind of like the first 3 or 4 months usually that are the.
Yep.
You know, where the kid is either crying all the time, and you know you're not getting sleep anyway because you got to feed you got to feed the child.
Yep.
You got to give it diapers.
Yep. Well, and
you know
that's our second kid too, so you still have the first to deal with.
Yeah, you can't just
ignore the first.
Ignore.
Or you can. I mean, it's just a little tough. Parenting goes a long ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
How old was your first, Max? 3 or something?
2.5 when
2.5.
Our second was born. Yeah.
You know what though? That's the perfect age, I think. Because
yeah.
you get them, 2.5. They're just about where they can kind of, not take care of themselves, obviously, but they're old enough that they can listen to you and they can kind of communicate their own feelings.
Exactly.
And, while you're doing your thing with the baby.
Yep.
But it's fun. I'm glad you're back. Glad you're here.
Glad to be back.
Taryn, how did your week go? How was your week? Did you steal a child?
No, I did not steal a child. But I did go mushroom hunting, and I found some mushrooms over the weekend.
Ooh, mushroom hunting! I went mushroom hunting 2 weeks ago, and I found nothing. But I had a nice time. No, I found mushrooms. I didn't find the ones I was looking for.
Now, Taryn, did you try any of them? Did you
Yes.
yeah.
Morel mushrooms. Yes, we fried them and we had some. No, not trips. Not those kind.
They don't grow in the wild around here, sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
But morel mushrooms are in season, or at least were by now. They're probably getting a little.
This is like we've reached peak season now. They're going. I think
my parents they estimate they found about 300 this year. They've done a really good year. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. I only went out one time. I didn't get a lot of ticks on me. I did spray my clothes with permethrin though, so that helped a lot.
Yep.
I think I found one tick, and it was nice.
Yeah.
It was a nice little tick just crawling on my hand.
I think
flicked them off.
I think I found about 6 mushrooms total, 4 or 6, something like that. The day I went, we didn't find very many, but throughout the week, my parents have been finding them like crazy.
Yeah.
So,
how do you like your mushrooms cooked? Do you like them fried? Do you like them sautéed? Do you like them fried?
Put a little flour and fry them. Yeah.
That's good. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I found what are the black? They look like ears, and they're the type of mushroom that you put in like ramen soup. Ramen soup,
yeah.
I found a lot of those. I didn't eat any though, but they were cool.
Mhm.
I found them, looked them up, had a good time.
Nice. But yeah, other than that,
Yeah.
it was a pretty good week.
Hell yeah. I had a crazy week at work today.
Oh, yeah?
Every day was like, it was a good day, but also like a bad day. I had, every load I had was a good load, but there was a little bit of like bad stuff kind of added to it.
Mhm.
Like I blew a tire.
Oh, no.
That was the day
On my
we
trailer.
recorded. That was the day we recorded the podcast last week.
Yeah.
That was like the
Yeah,
start.
that was. We recorded it. I left, blew a tire. It was ups and downs. I got to my back haul that day. They turned me down. It was crazy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Taryn,
Uh-huh.
I think that's all for the updates this week. Do you want to kick us off on the stories that we got? What
Yeah.
are we going to learn about today? man?
Okay, I do want to start off this with a question though. How long, like time frame wise, would you say when something happens and it happens again, would you consider it a coincidence?
Is this a
it
rhetorical
depends.
question or a legitimate one?
This is kind of a legitimate one.
Okay, so repeat it one more time, just so I have full
So when-
understanding.
So when something happens and then like 5 minutes later it happens again, would you consider that a coincidence? Like, what's the time frame and how long you would consider it a coincidence?
I think it depends on what exactly is occurring. But
Okay.
if it happens one time, sure. If it's not urgent or whatever, you kind of brush it
Yeah.
off. Happens a second time, fairly quickly. Even if it's not quickly, you take notice. It happens a third time. Okay, there's a pattern. What's happening? Figure it out. That's my logic.
It might also depend on what it is too. Like if it's like you see like a celebrity and then 5 minutes later you see another one. I feel like that's a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, I don't know, if you're like flipping over logs and you find a coin and then 5 minutes later you flip over another log and find a coin, I feel like that's not a coincidence. You're just, you know what I mean?
Sort of.
I don't. That might be a weird
Yeah.
a weird example, but
So
yeah, it's very dependent. I think.
the reason why I bring this up is because starting about 4 years ago, there has been scientists disappearing.
We're doing
yes.
this.
Yes.
We're talking about this?
Yes, we're
Okay.
doing this.
4 years ago.
Okay.
You said it
Starting
started?
about 4
Hey.
years ago,
Interesting. So a different
2022.
administration.
2022.
I'm gonna come off right off the bat. I don't think this is a coincidence. It could be.
I don't think it is.
Go ahead.
There's no way it's a coincidence.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. We're going to get into it. Now, I want to clarify, and I'm going to read exactly kind of what each person worked on and whether they are dead or disappeared. And also, the manner in which they disappeared is kind of questionable. And then we're going to go into our conspiracy side. So I do want to separate them for everybody listening, that we are trying to do the news first and the actual facts rather than just full on conspiracy. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how the way we're going to present it. So
Okay.
And
In
I assume
2000
this
Is it
news
okay-
from reputable sources and not just like what is
Yes.
it? What Truth Media or whatever, whatever. You know?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Truth
I can,
Social.
I can
No,
tell
the-
you.
The
I
news
have
is from Taryn's
Yeah.
Taryn's right wing uncle.
so I have multiple things pulled up. One is from LA Times, one is CNN, one is Vocal Media. I got all different kinds of sources, so we can kind of
He
dabble.
did his research.
Yeah.
Everybody,
So,
good job.
but right now I'm going to start on Reddit. Not Reddit, Wikipedia. not Reddit, Wikipedia.
Now I'm going to start with some speculation
Well,
from
no.
Reddit.
No,
Honestly,
just
I would,
Wikipedia
I would
because
trust
I
Reddit
think,
over Wikipedia.
well,
gonna
the
lie.
reason why I have Wikipedia pulled up at the moment is because they have a nice timeline.
Oh, it's got like a list.
Yes,
all
of who
the-
and when,
okay.
kind of. That's the only reason why I have Wikipedia pulled up. So, starting in 2022, Amy Eskridge, she was killed, and the Eskridge death was investigated by Birmingham, Alabama. Police ruled as suicide. A postmortem status released. A family noted she had suffered ongoing pain, and they did not find her death unusual. She worked on anti-gravity engines, and before you go full conspiracy, that is actually a thing, and like other like NASA or JPL or even just aerospace industries are trying to use physics to make a anti-gravity engine. That's the whole thing.
Wait, define anti-gravity
I think
engine.
it
Anti-gravity is a concept force that would likely oppose the force of gravity. That's just basically the idea. It's like whether it's a rocket propelling the force of gravity or bending space itself. That's the whole
it
point.
was a couple of years ago, I think, I read a paper that came out about scientists actually, for the first time, getting like, it was a negative G effect or something like that.
Yes.
It was very minimal,
Yep.
but they were able to actually counteract the effects of gravity. I think they do like some super, I don't know how they do it,
Yes.
actually. But yeah, they were actually able to do it. It wasn't like, what you think of when you think of like anti-gravity, where it's just like levitating, and
Yeah.
you move up and down and left and right like a UFO or something.
Yeah.
But
So
go ahead, Taryn.
what makes her death kind of interesting is before she died, she wrote to a friend and she also posted online that if you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not. So she already prefaced it that she thought her life might be in danger,
Okay.
which is kind of weird. So
Kinda.
yeah,
Little. It's a little bit
just
weird.
a little weird. Okay. In 2023, we have Michael David Hicks. He's a former planetary scientist at Jet Propulsion Labs, so JPL. Hicks' official cause of death was not released by the wishes of the family. A daughter stated he suffered from an unspecific chronic medical condition at the time of his passing, which that could be just normal. We don't know how he died. It could have just been he was 59 years old, so it could have just been a freak nature thing where he just passed away. We don't necessarily know.
Or it could be some sort of sickness derived from anti-gravity engines. Who knows?
Or maybe something he came into contact, or someone. We don't know.
Lots of speculation.
Yeah,
Yep.
could be the aliens. Could be aliens.
Could be lizard men.
Could be.
Okay. So in 2024, okay, now we're kind of getting closer to the present days. They're going to start picking up in frequency. Frank Maywald, he is a surface, water, and oceans topography and imaging spectroscopy engineer at JPL. So this is the second person at JPL. He was 61 and he's dead, and there's no reason as to why he is dead. It's just nothing's in there. So
Nothing like there's
We don't
no
know.
data for you to actually.
at least I can do a little bit more research. I'm gonna Google his name and
So
see.
he's another in the chain where
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just he has a PhD in applied physics. He is just
possible he
one
was
of the
studying
missing.
Something
Yeah.
that we, anyways.
I can go to NBC here and see if they have anything. Is scientist, a Sunland resident. Oh, there's a paywall. That sucks.
Oh. paywall. Damn it.
I'll read around the paywall. He's a scientist, Sunland resident who worked at NASA JPL laboratory in La Canada, Flint Ridge. He died at 59 July 30th, 2023. A cause death was not publicly released. Okay. That's what's said.
Taryn, have you taken into account that all of these people might have died from autoerotic asphyxiation?
Maybe.
Because a lot of times people that die from that, they don't get that published. I don't know. Maybe everybody's just really freaky.
Maybe.
Scientists.
I mean, you gotta do something in your boredom when you get frustrated. All your
Yeah,
tests are just
you
coming
can't
back
fi-
negative.
You can't figure out how to make a wormhole, so you just strangle yourself.
Yeah. So now we're going to go into more of the high profile cases, like the ones that people are really concerned about. So this one is Anthony Chavez. He is 78. He is a retired construction foreman who once worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory. So
What did they do there? What's that place?
Los Alamos National Laboratory, that is a complex which is developing like different types of energy for the DOE, which is Department of Energy. or DOD. Located a short distance from Santa Fe, New Mexico. So it's near like Area 51, near that like
Also, where
part
where
of the
Manhattan
country.
Project was.
Yes.
Right?
A lot of these are going to be like California or like NASA or JPL. So they're literally top leaders, scientists like in their field. It's kind of odd.
But it seems like a majority of these are astrophysicists or have some sort of relation to physics.
Yes, they're top scientists. Yes.
Okay.
Now, he did not die. He is
Well,
missing.
Hold on, I want to preface. You don't need to be
Uh-huh.
an astrophysicist to have, or to be a top scientist.
True,
You, know,
actually,
you
yeah,
could
yeah,
study in
you're correct.
botany or
But-
what have you.
But what I'm saying, yes, what I'm saying, like for
No, I
NASA,
understand.
for being physics, or
Yes.
even JPL, a lot of the is physics related, where propulsion or something like that.
Yep.
And Los Alamos National Laboratory is obviously a big industry in trying to build new craft or something like that, or help propel craft. That's kind of like whether it's an airplane or some other thing, which we're going to talk about later. Yeah. So he is missing. We don't know why he's missing, and we don't know exactly what happened to him. He just up and left, kind of thing. Now, Anthony Chavez, I think he is the one that left his glasses and his phone. So he left his glasses and his phone and just straight up left. So that means he probably didn't want to be found. Well, glasses
Right.
are a little weird.
He didn't want to be found, and he didn't want to find anything
Yes.
else because he
Yes.
forgot his glasses.
Yeah. But I mean, it could be if he's like 78 years old, he could have dementia. We don't know like the state of this person. Like obviously,
That's a good point.
like it could just be a plausible explanation. We don't really know.
Yeah.
Okay, in 2025, we also have Monica Reza, who is a metallurgist and a material engineers at Jet Propulsion Laboratory. This is number 3 at JPL. And she was 60 years old. This is a famous one because she was hiking with friends, like 30 other friends, like a group hike. And Reza was lost while hiking in the Angels National Forest.
Okay.
So she was out with her friends and then
Just
didn't,
disappeared.
Didn't show up back at the carpool.
Well, like
Basically.
they were like, I don't know, 10, 20 feet ahead of him. And then they looked back and she waved at him and then like smiled. And then they kept going. And then like, I think they were asking her if you want to wait up or something, like if she was tired or whatever. And then they look back again and she's gone. Don't know why.
Right.
And then
Now-
I think this is the one where when they investigated, they had dogs come out and try to find a trail. The trails just could not be found, like the scent. So there's other ways you can evade a dog scent trail. One is if you're carried. So
Yeah, you're just spirited away
Mhm.
by some men in black.
yep.
Or aliens. We're not ruling aliens out, are we, Terry? Is that
not
at the
yet.
end of this? Is it going to be aliens?
We don't know. I mean, obviously,
Okay.
I don't want to say aliens are here because we don't have any proof of that. So I'm just going through what we know and like where we can like take this, where the story takes us.
Steven Spielberg's making that movie Disclosure. Does this have anything to do with that?
I did not even know he was making that movie. So
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, he's making a movie called Disclosure, and it's about aliens.
Okay.
So that's fun.
Wouldn't be his first alien movie.
No, he's slowly been building up to
Yeah.
this over 40 years now or something. 30, 40 years.
Yeah. So also another one in 2025 was Melissa Cassius. She was an administrative assistant at Los Alamos National Laboratory. So there's a lot going on with Los Alamos and JPL that either people were dying or disappearing. And if I was some coworkers there, if I was a scientist and I see my coworkers and I see this news, I'm like freaking out because like, am I going to be next? Like, that wouldn't be out of the question. You know, if you see 3 people from you used to work with just gone, well,
Yeah, you come in one day at the lab and you're like, "Hey, where's Melissa at?" And they're like, "She's gone, bro."
Yeah.
And that'd be scary. Max, if any of your coworkers disappeared, would you? How would you feel?
Starstruck. I don't know if that's the
Starstruck.
proper word.
that's
I think
probably
more
not the
shocked than
proper
anything.
Okay,
Because
shock would
Starstruck
be
just
good.
yeah, Starstruck was probably. Anyways, I use that because it kind of relates to the topic of all these scientists. But
Yeah. You would be shocked. You know, would you be worried that you would be next? Do you think?
if
You know,
it happens more than once, then yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about 3 times? Would you be concerned?
Yes, very. And that
Okay.
again, that follows my logic of one time,
Yeah.
whatever, second time, take notice, third time, okay, that's a pattern.
Yep. So she was Melissa was 53 and she also disappeared. Relatives report she was experiencing huge amount of stress related to financial issues and she was probably decided to run away. Asked if she left on her own volition, a spokesperson of New Mexico State Police said it appears that this may be the case. So she just upped and left, and she could have just had a mental breakdown. We don't know. Like,
She could just be living out there in the mountains right now.
Yeah.
We don't know.
yep.
Highly unlikely, but yes.
Yeah. Probably not living out there. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Probably dead in the mountains.
Which
Continue.
brings us to Steven Garcia. He is a contract property custodian at Kansas City National Security Campus. He's missing as well. He is 47. It doesn't give any details as to why he's missing. So
He just
a national security campus, kind of odd. Another high-level official or a high-level scientist that just happens to be among all of these other either deceased or disappearances that we can't really explain as to what's going on. I mean, there could be plausible explanations. I'm not ruling any of this out. Like, obviously, that one case, the guy could have had dementia. This person could have had a mental break. We don't know. Obviously, I don't know them. So it would be interesting to, like, if we have any type of, like, let's say if there is a coordinated effort to abduct people, well, then we could think, well, who would that be? Would that be the United States? Would that be a foreign government? Well, or so those are also plausible. Like, if you have a degree in, let's say, aeronautics and you are poached by, let's say, I don't know, Germany, or not even Germany, but like, or Israel or another nation that wants to have your expertise. They're kind of like what the CIA does. It's not unheard of.
Yeah, it's like an Operation Paperclip type of thing.
Yeah.
Except they're not Nazis,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah.
It's not unheard
Man,
of.
we don't
These
know
these
that, I guess.
programs can exist and they have in the past. We know that to be true. But I'm not saying that's what happened. It's just a possible, plausible explanation.
Yep.
Right.
Now, Steven Garcia, that was the one I just, Jason Thomas, he is an assistant director, chemical biology at Novartis, whatever. He is 45. He is deceased. He drowned at Lake Quannapolit, in Massachusetts. Medical examiner stated no foul play was involved, and Thomas' wife noted he was depressed at the time of his death. So that could just be he wanted to end it, but he was
He just
he is
drowned himself.
among the deceased people.
Uh-huh.
Nuno Loreto is a plasma physicist. This was in 2025 as well. Professor, leader of MIT Plasma Science and Fusion Center. She was 47. Loreto was a victim of the 2025 Brown University shooting perpetrated by Claudio Manuel Nueves Valente. So she was killed in a shooting. which is sad.
That one probably might just be
A weird coincidence.
Yeah.
that might just be she was gunned down.
Yeah. So that's kind of the reason why I asked you, like, how long for coincidences started to add up to patterns, you know?
Right. And I don't know. A lot of these, do have explanations. The ones that go missing, I feel like, are the ones that,
Yeah.
I don't know. Are there many more?
There's a
Or
couple
is
more.
Okay.
So we're going to circle back to a few of them, but so Carl Gromari was a retired Caltech astronomer of physics of exoplanets, galactic structure, and dark matter. Was 67. He was deceased, murdered in a carjacking. A 29-year-old California man was charged with a homicide in February 2026. So that was this year. William Neil McCaslin was a retired U.S. Air Force Major General, former Commander Air Force Research Laboratory. He disappeared. He's missing. That's a high-profile one. He's 68. Yeah.
That was the big one. I feel like when that came out, everybody was like, okay,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
That kind of made the world take notice.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it was the center of the Pentagon's most advanced aerospace research and once commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory, Wright-Patterson Air Force. Months after the 68-year-old went missing, officials can't say where he went or why he left. Someone else was involved, or whether or not someone was involved. His wife, Susan McCaslin Wilkerson, disputed at the time speculation that his disappearance was tied to his work at the base, long rumored housing extraterrestrial debris linking the alleged Roswell incident, despite Air Force denials. So this is where we're going to go into the conspiracy a little bit, where people believe in Roswell, people believe in aliens, UFOs, all of that stuff, and whether or not is all of this intentional, or is this a massive cover-up? It is true that Neil had a brief association with the UFO community. Wilkerson said in a Facebook post, "This connection is not a reason for someone to abduct Neil. Neil does not have any special knowledge about ET bodies or debris from the Roswell crash stored at Wright-Patterson." So that could also be we don't know what Neil knows as well, like, or someone trying to spin that story could be. Well, of course he didn't know anything. He didn't have, like, there's no way he could. They're not real.
Yeah, they're not just gonna. They wouldn't just say if they knew.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
his wife probably wasn't read in, obviously, so she wouldn't have known. And then on top of that, like, if it was the government saying that he's not going to know, like, obviously it's the government going to say that. They're going to keep it a secret.
If it's a top secret thing that they've taken him for, where they're not going to tell everybody the top secret thing or where he is.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be my guess there. Go ahead.
Wilkerson did not respond this week's CNN request for comment this story. I'm guessing they wanted an interview. So
that's his wife.
Yes. Yeah, they did not. I'm guessing she just didn't want to. She's probably distraught,
tired of talking about it,
and distraught,
or told not to talk to anybody. Who knows?
Yep. So we're going to circle back a little bit again. Cassius 53 was 53, last seen walking on the highway near Talpa, New Mexico in June 2025. Leaving her belongings at home, a phone that had been factory reset, NBC News reported. So why would you factory reset your phone before you just up and leave?
Yeah, that's a little fishy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless somebody came and factory reset it
after
her.
That might be possible too.
That's my assumption.
But yeah, I can't think of any reason to factory reset a phone other than the phone is like goofing up, and that's the advice that you've been given.
Yep.
And then even then you restore your, it's all saved to like the cloud and things like that.
Yep. And you restore it fairly quickly too.
Yeah, that's like the first thing that happens is you sign back in to whatever, Google or Apple or whatever.
Yeah.
Depends.
So this is obviously a huge long string of deaths. This is what CNN says. In recent months, deaths of several acclaimed scientists have also fueled speculation. A professor of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, was fatally shot at his home near Boston in December 2025 by a gunman who opened fire around a university campus. This is weird to talk about it, but there's a lot of like speculation as to what's going on. A lot of conspiracy theorists, a lot of UFO people were going out saying like, obviously it's a massive cover up. They don't want people discovering. It's very interesting that it started off with Eskridge, because she said that she was not of that volition to take her own life or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of what tipped it. And she was working on an anti-gravity engine that's what the reports say. But I mean, whether or not they are on the brink of a discovery, or if this is targeted, or if this is like orchestrated in some way, that is like obviously speculation, but it's very, very interesting. I kind of wanted to throw it to you guys. What's your guys' thoughts on all of this?
Well,
Max, do you want to go first?
yeah, sure.
Go, yeah.
And anyways, I have a feeling you and I are kind of ping pong off each other here with some ideas. But my first thought was, when did this start, and under which administration was all of this happening? But it seems
so. Like I said, 2022 to now.
So
that was Joe Biden, and then Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah, Trump.
Which, I'm not trying to point fingers towards a specific administration, but I was curious due to the most recent events. But with that being said, I feel that this is too odd of a coincidence to be a coincidence. I feel like there is something beyond this.
Okay. Some of them can be just some of them probably are just a random happening.
Yeah.
Like,
and I won't deny that.
Like that person getting gunned down, that's terrible, and it probably just happened like by sheer bad luck. That is possibly the case.
Yep.
So,
and I can see a mad scientist, and I'm using mad because, anyways, you'll understand in a second. I can see a mad scientist very specifically say, if you see me kill myself, it wasn't me, and then they end up killing themselves, right? Like I can see that to try and get a point proven, to try and get a study published or what have you. I can totally see that happening. I don't think it's likely. And typically if someone does say, if I die, it wasn't me, I didn't kill myself. Like if someone says that, 9 times out of 10, they said that because they were, they felt that their life was under threat. So I think that's definitely a spark that is worth looking into. That might start a fire, or did in this case. And the fact that so many scientists, I don't know how many you named exactly. I think it was 5 or 6.
Well, there was, I think, 11 or 12 total.
11. Okay.
But there was 3 from JPL that I noticed. Three alone from JPL is crazy.
Do you have the statistics?
They're all kind of linked to in the same sort of field.
Yeah, so 3 from JPL.
Yeah.
It seemed like all of them you mentioned today,
one was
about
on
5.
their own. Like Eskridge worked on their own, doing anti-gravity. It was like a
It's not about work on their own.
I'm
I'm more curious to know what field they studied or had expertise in.
Anti-gravity, former planetary scientist, JPL, surface water ocean topography, construction, former worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory, metallurgist, a material engineer, administration assistant at Los Alamos National Laboratory, a property custodian at Kansas City National Security Campus, assistant director of chemical biology, plasma physicist, professor, leader of MIT Plasma Science and Fusion Center, retired Caltech astronomer and astrophysicist of exoplanets, galactic structure, and dark matter, and retired U.S. Major General, former commander of Air Force Research Laboratory. So that's all their positions.
So they do I mean, they all are somewhat related.
Yes. Somewhat.
Yes, some of them aren't scientists. Some of them just work at places.
Or
Um,
have
and
access to
Which
said places.
could be a
Yeah,
whistleblower.
have had
Actually,
access.
do you know if any crazy WikiLeaks have been published since the start of this?
I have not checked WikiLeaks
Ooh.
WikiLeaks
I feel
or
like
anything
that
like
would be the first place to look is WikiLeaks.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they blew the whistle.
Yeah.
And then disappeared. Or I kind of have the theory that some of them, like we were talking about, have been, they are legitimate. But I don't know. There's like we were saying, there's too many to just write it off as total coincidence. It could be that especially the disappearances, they've been taken, to work on something, or maybe
Silence
I don't
even.
know.
But
I don't know. Is it like a witness protection type of thing, but it's like the opposite of that, where they're just like trying to make them not talk?
But
Um,
if
or
it's
something
witness
like that.
protection, like some of these are sloppy. It, to me, is
Well, okay.
not like it wouldn't be witness
Here-
protection. It would be, to me, it's more like silencing.
yes,
silencing
so
s-
that's
Some.
That's where I was
someone
gonna
from
go with
potentially
it.
Saying something rather than protecting them,
if
right?
Right.
no.
That's what I mean. It's not like witness protection, but it's like in that same vein where they take them out, and they're like, "All right, you
Come
you
with
have
us, or
no-
we're gonna kill you.
you're gone. You're disappeared."
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, where if you refuse to go with them, like, what do you do? Like, it's just gonna straight up kill you. Or
Yeah.
do you get ahead of it and do you just disappear on your own, and not because the entire United States government is kind of a scary weapon when pointed at you. Like, let's be
Yeah,
real.
Kind of.
They can, we think we're safe, but they could do a lot.
They
if
could do a
wanted
lot.
to.
They could do a lot. If you think about it as a
Yeah.
weapon,
Just
which
like
it is.
one or two people here and there. Yeah, they.
And of course, the reason why, like, it would explain some irrational behavior, like factory resetting a phone and just disappearing. I'm not saying that's
Yeah.
what they did, or I'm not saying that's what exactly happened, but like, that's all the evidence we have. And if they don't want
Yeah,
to trust anybody, because if the United States can get to anybody, so
Right, or if somebody did that, I mean, somebody could come in, disappear the person, factory reset their phone, and then it's that's extra work for the cops to go do, to get the passwords to log back in,
Yep.
to find the stuff,
Yep.
Yep.
and a lot of times that stuff is just kind of like they just disappeared.
Yep.
It was kind of. This is going to go way back. I don't know if any of you know the Charles
Yep.
Manson conspiracies
yep.
about how kind of stuff like that, how he was just sort of let go. He was arrested a lot of times, and then he would be held, and then somebody would be like, nah, just let him go. And then they would let him go. It could be something like that, too,
Yep.
where the people investigating are told, you don't need to investigate this anymore. Like, you got everything you need. Just forget about it, And it's kind of obvious to people who kind of look into it and say, this is really fishy. But then if you look at official investigation reports, you can kind of paint however you want to make it look like it
Yes.
was an accident or the person
Yeah.
just disappeared.
very, very intriguing, very suspicious. Like, I don't deny some of these probably just got thrown in because they were a high level scientist. I don't deny that. Like, it's entirely plausible someone might have had a mental break, or entirely plausible that like someone died from a carjacking. That shit happens. Like, it's the
Yep.
real world. Like, people fucking die all the time. I'm not discrediting.
This is America.
Yeah, I'm not saying
We
it's
could
not
die
sad.
tomorrow. I could be gunned down tomorrow.
I'm not saying it's not sad at all. I'm saying that it's plausible of an explanation of what could happen. And that's like where you get into the claims, like extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Well, at what point do we start thinking this is extraordinary, or out of the ordinary, at least, when it's 11 top scientists have gone missing in the last 4 years?
Yeah.
That's a little
Right, and
weird.
most of them in the past 2,
Yes.
right? Or 1 or 2.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we're in
Yeah.
we're in the age of information, so it's possible that stuff like this was happening, even 100 years ago, and the general public just doesn't know about it. because
True.
we weren't in the age of information.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not discrediting what we're speaking about, and I'm not saying it's
Mhm.
you know it's the gravity of the situation is any less. It's more, hey, we have that information now. We can see what's happening. It's harder for government agencies, assuming that that's what's happening, to take people and out them or whatever they're doing to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's yeah a lot tougher when everybody gets a little piece of the information. You know.
Yeah.
You can. But that's also, I feel like, maybe where it gets a little bit dangerous, where people can draw conclusions that aren't quite
Yes.
true.
Mhm.
But I mean, either way, there are people who are missing.
5 are
and we don't
missing,
know where
6
they
are dead. Yeah.
and it's very suspicious in all cases, especially the missing cases, obviously, because a lot of these people, why would they go missing?
Yeah.
Why would the lady just be on a hike and then disappear? Why would the major general disappear? That doesn't sound like they have. Maybe they have like terrible lives. That could be it too. We're discrediting. Maybe they have gambling problems.
True.
Maybe they ran
Yeah.
away to
Everyone
Mexico.
Just
has
because
their
they're a
own
scientist doesn't mean they don't have real world problems. Yeah.
This is devil's advocate, but like Max was saying, it's the information age.
True.
You can't just disappear
No.
anymore.
But what's
I
the
mean-
scary realization is if there is investigations into the deaths or the missing persons cases, then who's leading that investigation? Well, the government is. So if they are, clearly they have the access to cover it up because they're the fucking government.
Yeah.
So that's a little skeptical there, but if they are, of course they would cover it up. Like
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
so
Yeah, what is it? Is that a catch-22 technically?
in a
Maybe
way.
that's not a catch-22. It's something like that where like the government, if it is something top secret or they're killing people or disappearing people,
Mm-hmm.
won't tell you. And if they just don't know, they can't tell you.
Yeah.
You know what
Yep.
I mean?
True.
It's yeah.
Very, very
hell of a
interesting.
situation.
But like we haven't even gotten to like the UFO argument either. That's a whole conspiracy narrative that's being weaved across all of this too. Like for the people who believe that there are crash UFOs from like Roswell and
But
everywhere
I feel
else.
like that's such a stretch. Like, anyways, to me, it's so much
Yeah.
more likely that a government and like let's say I do believe in aliens. I'm not saying I do or I don't, but like let's say I do. That just feels like such a stretch. Why would they target just specifically those individuals? Why aren't you linking other people who have seen you or done other things? Like, it feels like they're trying to, observational bias, right? Like they're looking for something to make it to connect all of these, and they find even just a sliver of hope that connects everything. It's like, oh, that's it.
Yep,
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
And
Well,
I'm a
there-
skeptic by nature.
Yeah.
But like I've seen and read some of the arguments that these are aliens, and like what are they trying to prevent humans from having interstellar travel? Like, is that the goal? Like, what? I guess what's the end goal?
No. Okay, hypothetically, if
Taryn, tell us what the aliens
no,
want.
no, I'm not saying what
Go
the
ahead.
aliens want. I'm saying hypothetically, if the
Oh.
government had access to said technology and they wanted to keep that a secret for a variety of reasons, let's say national security or let's say panic might ensue, whatever, various reasons.
Yeah.
If someone was to blow the lid or come close to discovering, oh, there's actually alien craft here, would the government want to keep that a secret?
I would say 100%. I mean, you probably have
Okay.
a limited time frame
To what
keep it a secret,
lengths?
but
Yeah.
you would.
To what lengths
Yeah,
are they going to go?
Right. If it's hypothetical, I feel like they would go to any length. I mean, they did give a bunch of like an entire town LSD that one time for MK Ultra.
True.
That was kind of
Forgot
fun.
about that.
And nobody knew about that until decades after
With
it
FOIA
happened.
requests,
So, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, they could, if it were aliens, in an alien craft, I don't think they would, just let it out there. I think they would go to the ends of the earth to stop it until they themselves were ready to come out with it in whatever way. they want. I'm kind of with Max though. Like I believe in extraterrestrial life and on like other planets. I'm not really, I don't know. I'm not convinced that any craft has crashed here. I think most crafts that have crashed that people have seen probably have been created by our
Yeah,
government.
well, I
Yep.
think all the
other-
Roswell and Arizona sightings in the 80s were literally just the stealth bomber.
Yeah, Roswell back in the 40s might have been like a secret
Yep.
plane, but yeah, like that the Phoenix Lights. I think those were just F-117s
Yep.
flying in
Well,
formation.
it may have also just been the stealth bomber. Was it the B-52?
Yeah, or that too.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing. I don't know if you've ever seen one like in
Have not.
person or just a video of one. I've never seen one in person either. I don't know why I said that. Like I had seen one in person. That's my bad. But videos of them flying, they look terrifying.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they just show up. They're just a black triangle in the sky.
Yep.
And that's what some UFOs look like. There used to be a picture on Google Maps down by is in Missouri, but if you zoom in, I think it's by Whiteman Air Force Base, or it's somewhere between Columbia and Kansas City. If you zoom in, I don't know where it's at, but you can see one on the Google Maps picture. It's just like flying.
Mhm.
I don't know where it's at, but yeah, those things. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of what it is. Is like Taryn said, we're working on anti-gravity propulsion. A paper came out saying we've had like the first success of that. And it wasn't like a great success. It just meant that we were generating like an opposite effect, and it was barely any.
Yep.
But we were able to do it. I feel like, if we can do that, with anti-gravity, I can't imagine what else we could do.
But that's the
I don't know. I'm not a physicist. I'm not a theoretical.
neither am I.
physicist. I don't know.
So
I'm not qualified to talk about what we can and can't do.
that's kind of the whole thing. It starts with the death of someone that was working on an anti-gravity engine, which is kind of crazy. Like obviously it sucks that she died, but also like what she was working on was an anti-gravity. That's insane stuff. Like, and so if you were the government, you would start there.
Yeah. Speaking of insane stuff, I just found out a few weeks ago that we have dark matter. We can create
Yes.
dark
Yes.
matter. Did you know there's
Yes.
a dark matter lab?
We've
That's
only
insane.
done it,
guys.
I think, a handful of times, but we have done it, and we've measured it
Yes.
and quantified
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
The time when I learned about it, it was they were trying to transport it to like move it to somewhere else, and they were like, you can't let it touch anything or it like corrodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just
It's insane stuff.
we have dark. That's insane. Yeah. There was a fusion. I think it's made from nuclear fusion or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
made at CERN.
It was at MIT.
I
Yeah.
think it was made at CERN.
At
The
CERN. Okay. Yeah. It was a particle accelerator. Yeah.
Oh, something I was going to
Yeah.
tell you, Matt, was there was a
Yes.
video I saw on YouTube. I think it'd be straight up your alley. There was someone that was kind of just doing like a nature exploring video. They do it a lot. They like to go like look at Area 51, or they go like to just random places across the United States. He was looking inside of Skunk Works. If you're unfamiliar,
Oh yeah, Lockheed
yeah,
Martin.
if you're unfamiliar,
SR-71.
yeah. Well, if you're unfamiliar, they do like radar cross sections of a craft. That's the whole point. Well, he camped overnight outside of the base, obviously, but he had binoculars and night vision goggles to look in. Like he was kind of high up on a little hill or a mountain looking in. And at the middle of the night, they brought a craft out up onto the pole and doing radar cross sections because they didn't want anybody to see it during the day. But it's pretty cool that there is high level technology that he was able to show on YouTube. But obviously, it's so far away, you can't really make out the details. But there is a craft up on that pole. Pretty cool. It could be like the next,
Right.
I don't know, F-35, or we don't know what it is. It's some advanced. It could just be like a fuselage of it or whatever. But pretty cool stuff
Right.
that he was able to capture a little bit of footage of it.
Yeah. I think that a good thing to come into conspiracy theories is that, I mean, I guess outside the fact that if UFOs exist, we are still just operating in what we already know, what we have, what we know about physics. What am I trying to say? Okay, yeah. So conspiracy theories, if you go into them thinking interstellar travel and, light speed and all of that stuff, you're going to have a bad time. I think it's better to think about people behind this stuff, like actual people. People can only do what people can do. So like you said, they were just doing it at nighttime because there's less likely the ability of somebody to see, unless there's that guy camped out. So, they don't have like a cloaking device. They don't have any of that stuff. They're just doing it very secretively in all the ways that humans can do secretive things.
There's a reason why
Underground
there's
at
a
night.
big ass perimeter around the bases, obviously for like safety reasons, like whether it's at Nellis Air Force where they're dropping literally bombs in the middle of the desert. But there's a reason.
Skunkworks, that's at Edwards Air Force
I
Base? Is
think
that where
so,
that's at?
yeah. But it's pretty cool to
That's-
see a little snippet of what is a craft being examined by radar. But that was just
Right.
something I kind of wanted to throw to you. But
I appreciated it. That was
yeah,
good. Good time.
do you guys have any final thoughts on this, or
There it is. Aliens for sure, definitely.
Well,
aliens. No,
that one guy Greer, didn't he like testify in Congress?
David Allen
Yeah,
Greer. But some of those people, it's hard to know if they're testifying the truth or also if they're testifying what somebody tells them to testify to like throw off any
True.
scent. Like, if they say
like
aliens
control
are
leak.
real,
Yeah,
we'll just be like, oh, it's aliens, okay, and then we'll ignore the fact that they're making some sort of like massive death weapon that can take out an entire civilization, or something like that, or just stuff like a hypersonic drone that can deliver a nuclear warhead in 20 seconds or whatever. Like we just don't know. I guess that's my idea.
yeah.
I don't know. I hate not being able to come to like the cool conclusion of like it's aliens or it's a big conspiracy. I do think it is, suspicious that all of these people connected to like astrophysics and anti-gravity propulsion have gone missing or are dead. Maybe they knew too much.
Yeah. Something I just read, which was kind of interesting. On February 16th of this year, we already mentioned Carl Grillemar was fatally shot, but he was shot on his porch of his house, and the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department arrested Friday Snyder, Snyder maybe, in 29 in connection with the shooting. However, which was really weird, I think either that day or that week, Carl called the police saying he was trespassing. They arrested Freddie, and then either that day or that week they let him out, and he goes back and kills the guy. Like, what the fuck? Like, so he had an agenda, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe there's like that's where I kind of came into it with the Charles Manson stuff. Like it's not hard to coerce just standard law enforcement to listen to the government. I feel like a lot of times. And that's not conspiracy. That actually happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, as much as they say it doesn't happen, it happens. People get away with things because they either have money or connections all the time. That happens every day, probably. Maybe not to that extent, but yeah. Yeah, you think of all the stuff that we know about and just imagine it goes deeper than that. That's what I like about this stuff.
And the
Like,
age of
could
information
you
is
imagine-
just bringing everything to light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can just collate everything that we know and try to separate
Like,
all the bullshit from the stuff. That
there's obviously like the famous thing of like go back in time and drop an iPhone off to like, I don't know, the immigrants of the United States. Like, they're not going to know what the fuck, they're going to think it's black magic,
unless it has Candy Crush on it, man. They'd get hooked.
And then, but it's even more than that because you don't even need an iPhone. Go back and give them a stealth bomber. What the they're gonna be so
Oh my
could you imagine that? Like
Yep.
Yeah, give them a box of ammunition and like an AR-15.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's insane the level of technology that
that would
advances.
change the future. Oh my god.
It's insane the level of technology that advances, and we're just left in the dark as the public is just waiting for, the disclosures coming out every 50 years. I think it's supposed to be every 50 years or whatever. Like
Yeah. Well,
when
'cause
something
the
is
stealth bomber
classified.
was released in I don't even remember.
70s, I
70s.
think.
And
maybe
we only
80s.
found out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it was being developed in the 70s. In the 80s, that's when people were reporting sights of it and things
Yep.
like that. But yeah, it wasn't till and we still don't know its specs.
Yeah.
In the same way that we still don't know the top speed of an SR-71 or its max altitude. We know like the general areas. It's still
Yep.
classified.
Oh, yeah.
All the instruments that it has. A lot of that stuff anymore, it's the radar avoidance techniques that they have is what's classified. Like the B-21, I feel like that might have been released, kind of quick. But I feel like the big technology there isn't the aircraft itself because it's kind of a proven shape. It's more like what is it doing with its computers
Sure.
is what's and I guess I don't know how fast it is. We don't know much about it. But fun stuff, scary stuff, kind of.
This podcast is sponsored by Patterns. They repeat wherever you don't notice. Small things at first, then more obvious, the unavoidable. Use code NOTICE to begin seeing them more clearly. Patterns, they were always there.
This podcast is also sponsored by hydrogen bombs. Look out, Iran. We're coming. We got a crazy man running our country. You better duck and cover, fellas.
Yeah.
H-bombs.
H-bombs. 60 times larger than
Max,
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
do you have any advertisements you want to plug, Max?
I don't have an advertisement, but I do have a random depressing fact of the day.
Ooh.
Oh, hell
Go
yeah.
back to that.
It's been a hot minute. All right. Now that I've said all the millennial terms that I can think of, I'm sure I'll say some more later. Nearly everything you've ever worried about will eventually stop mattering. Not because it's got resolved or been resolved, but because time will erase both the problem and the person who cared about it.
Oh, that's fucking deep.
Some people say that's depressing. I say that's hopeful. I love that. Thank you, Max.
So you're
My
telling
pleasure.
me I can literally procrastinate long enough and my problems will go away.
Eventually.
It will eventually go away, but the journey to it going away may be rougher than you want it to be.
Yeah, maybe don't procrastinate so much at the moment, but well, everybody, that was the Bitter Third podcast. It was bitter, and it wasn't that bitter actually. It was kind of fun. It was a nice bitter third. That was a nice Colombian roast. I don't know coffee actually. Is Colombian roast bitter?
I think just about any
Whatever.
coffee is bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was the kind of coffee that, you get to the bottom, you're like, ooh, that's
Yeah.
tasty. I don't mind that too bad. But yeah, come back every week on Monday. Like, comment, and subscribe on these videos.
Tell a friend.
On the podcast. Tell your friends. Spread the word. The Bitter Third is back, baby. And we got
Howdy.
Max here. He's a dad.
Yep.
He's cool. Everybody's having fun. We're talking conspiracies. We're talking aliens. We're talking people getting killed and disappeared. Every Monday is what it is.
And if you have any topic suggestions, please let us know. We would love to review them.
course.
And
Oh, yeah.
potentially bring that up.
Yeah.
Drop a topic. Also, let us know smash or pass aliens in the comments below.
Ooh.
I would.
The Grays?
I
the
would,
Grays?
you know.
They're definitely in a smash, right?
They can probe me anytime. That's what I always say. All right. You guys have a good night. Good day, everybody.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy.
1, 2, ready, go. What's the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.